I'm here to talk to you as fellow council members and members of the public as a private citizen, and to review something that was brought up last week, in which I actually sat, listened to, and now I'd like to respond to. At our last council meeting, comments were made regarding lawsuits that I've brought against the city of Hoboken, and I'm glad at this moment to have a turn to clarify the facts and issues. And I have not spoken to many of you about this, so I hope you will give me the opportunity to get to the end of my comments before we have a discussion. Some of you may not have had a full perspective, and certain parties are interested in you getting what I believe to be only one side of the story. Since my time is limited, I'm prepared a handout for you with all details about all 6 lawsuits that I have against the city. Just to summarize, all my cases involve requests for records about expenditures and use of public funds. I've had to sue to make our city officials comply with laws governing open public records and open public meetings. And I will add also destruction of public records. Out of 6 cases, Hoboken has lost 2 and has had to pay out more than $11,000 in attorney fees alone. City officials have never, and I emphasize that, attempted to resolve these lawsuits before they came to trial. As Joseph Pulitzer once said, there is not a crime, there is not a dodge, there is not a trick, there is not a swindle which does not live in secrecy. And that's the end of quote. So I'm asking you, what is it we're trying to hide? Now, in the few minutes that I have tonight, I'm going to focus on just one case that serves up what I believe all the issues are. It's the case of the missing cell phone records. You might recall the Jersey Journal report in June of 2005 that Hoboken spent more than $230,000 on 150 city-issued cell phones. After that expose, our mayor vowed to take action to reduce those expenses, and I can show you a number of those articles. I brought with me copies for you. Shortly after that article was published, I requested cell phone charges incurred by city employees. The legal basis for my request is the Open Public Records Act, known as OPRA, which provides access to records such as phone bills. OPRA says all bills should be produced immediately. However, I waited patiently after 7 days and was told that it would be 21. Well, it's October 2007, and I don't yet have those records I requested. Instead, it took our city 42 days to provide 36 pages of bills from only a single carrier, when actually, in fact, later on, through other requests, I found that there were another 2. A total of 3, and actually it was Councilperson LeBruno who brought it up on July 20th, 2005 at the 6 o'clock caucus meeting, when she was asking questions about cell phone bills. What I received was a document that had all the phone numbers for city employees blacked out. So I couldn't decipher who was using what. I believe it's our right as citizens and our right as taxpayers to see that information. It's mine, and it's also yours. So I exercised another of my rights and sued the city of Hoboken to produce all the records. How do our city officials respond to the lawsuit? The same way they responded to the other 5. They chose to spend our money on legal fees rather than what I believe to be the right thing. If the city loses this case, like it has to others, the cost of the citizens of Hoboken escalates to include return of my attorney's fees and possibly a fine. I won an $11,000 judgment in another case that forced the city to produce purchase orders for our open space project. That $11,000 does not include the city's own legal fees. Now consider this. My attorney's fees are 1/5 the cost of the city's. On the case of this purchase order, my attorney spent 36 hours, city's attorneys spent over 150. The difference in price, as you can imagine, was pretty significant.